be ours as viewers, as we always felt from this amazing series. His great realization, he had no other objective other than fulfilling their roles like he has been doing in a blind trance. The answers, once again, were hidden behind what one considered normal, something so mundane that you overlook, something simple. To know who we all should point out and claim for ourselves a greater change to end such cruelty. How would be for this also perfect puppet to start making choices as an actual real man? Well, here it begins. The great fall starts at this episode. Robert also starts reflecting on his former bad guy partner, Bernard. The villain seems to show remorse in his behavior and finally accepts a chance at redemption. Former villains unite by a new and much larger threat: oppression, tyranny, and cruelty against many for one's personal profit. He takes that moment of awareness and decides to fight in the ranks of our heroes and rebels. All that pain was after, all not in vain, even for our great antagonist. To work side by side with someone whom once thought was an adversary may open their eyes, and all of ours, that not everything needs to be bad versus good. In the heart of all that struggle, there's empathy, human connections, and a tiny bit of hate from old traumas that are waiting to explode on screen. The time for big choices has finally arrived for everyone. To help this scenario escalate, there's K-Nex, which without knowing what to do decides to search for the rat in mechanics. He's convinced that everyone inside his small empire are trying to get back at him by sending information to Bernard, whom is the master of secrets of this crazy universe. Each action pushes them to chaos and disarray, just to prove what kind of friend you can count in a dire time. He is putting pressure and showing his flaws at each corner as a powerful figure. Those whom had absolute control must learn by other means now. He, one of the true defenders of the system, begins to finally question all of it. Something so different. His focus has turned towards his inner circle, who used to be united by the pact. Oh, the same. But for how long? What if we put some doubt into their souls for once? Now they would see that the great structures are being teared from their inside. As for Sims and Camille, both decide to investigate in order to grasp all of Bernard's cruel secrets at the place where the answers might hide, Bernard's private office. They both feel like there's an issue beyond imagination and begin making all kinds of conspiracy theories. The time has come to take down a huge part of the old guard in Silo. Just like most of us viewers, they're finally having the questions that many might have since episode 1. Why are things so broken? It seems now is a moment for justice. That matter. There's always this huge quest to discover that place with endless mysteries behind that locked door, and at that moment they seek for vengeance to start what appears to be a change of guard in all those worlds of hurt. Let's be honest with our own perspectives now. The end of Silo's second to last episode. The Safeguards Tunnel is finally a reality to the plot. The entrance for all the crazy theories. Is it another illusion or another door to hell? A cruel world or some path towards redemption? No matter what your conclusions and doubts are, this series always surprises you. It appears to be that one more step in that big deception. We have all the feelings. We are the viewers on this. Then Lucas enters, finds this AI entity that calls itself Algorithm, as if nothing was shocking up until now, and everything spins to yet another dimension. Who or what is that? What other super hidden plan are they using now? Are the selected few, or does that voice or being control the big scheme with total domination on everybody in every single silo ever since forever? Until now. Why are they there? Questions upon questions, and it seems as though the answer will lead you into even more mysteries. It would make all of the chosen ones or the great rebels appear just as silly and insignificant pawns. Maybe our theories and choices as audience could actually reflect the problems beyond the screen in our very real lives. Or is this all I just made up right here? Is Silo simply that way? Or will anything make any sense in this chaotic mix of ideas? The Safeguard seems to be the ultimate plan. Some kind of self-destruct protocol if their power is threatened by the ones beneath their control. A final measure of the few power figures in every silos. A cruel weapon to contain the spread of information in this brave and very sick new world. where suffering in each level seems to be the only main rule. Will everything and all that effort we had since season 1 finally go to the bin because some new code decided to? What do they truly value? Their life and safety is just as valued as every single character from Silo. A great reflection for us, the audience as human beings. What will happen? The algorithm also sets our mind working when saying, through words that can't go back, do not spread what we are showing you. Stay silent and go home. What new horrors await our heroes and villains now? What is their purpose in this world? If in every possible chance the oppression has proven to come out on top at any given moment, should the voice be ignored? Or just given up to the despair as another unsolvable problem? Now, with a new door wide open, in that old confined place where despair always seemed to be the natural order, what's coming next? A path towards light? Hope? New answers, perhaps? Only in Silo we would expect a new turn, and of course another episode. Will all those pieces make a different big image? What shall they do with what they are so desperate to discover? What the fuck will every single character do next after this game changer? They have every tool to change it all for the best or for the worst. But to act is now imperative. Let's look ahead and ask some critical questions about future episodes. Of Silo, if Juliet unites again with Solo in a beautiful path towards freedom, what else awaits her? A moment of rest with A. Very one else she missed from old times? All that time with old friends could mean she'll have more strength in that fight against those that caused this cruel structure. Will this love for him or anyone else will work? They should understand that this moment was made only through connections. They can't ignore all that empathy, right? How long will their newly formed community last after this chaotic path? Even for such optimist viewers like us, it's so hard to have this question without the fear that lurks within all the characters. Are they cursed to repeat an inevitable and cruel cycle? In short, it can all lead us towards an epic battle between past actions versus a future of free choices. A question that can take so much strength and energy for our souls. Do the characters at that moment see the weight behind the burden they have, even if their stories have different weights on the scale? That remains unanswered for now. What's going to happen next? This season should focus and show. It's a great example of what it means to do the hardest decisions of your lives. What awaits our genius? They're always so well thought and calm. Lucas, at that great dilemma, he finds himself trapped inside that door. His decisions might make it possible to end the chaos and corruption once for all. Can we assume a major difference because it all resides within our dear computer? Wiz's decisions and the responsibility they all have upon those choices. His new world, or our old Silo, is depending upon that act. Does one individual have that level of responsibility upon one or many others that we will soon see? And how much does our actions matter on how our lives will reflect as a consequence of it? All questions are waiting for more development in another action that leads all for a different future. They may just as easily and like always turn all our good faith around and show us even more surprises with their choices. And we have those on the rebellion route with our now so open-minded and rebel Paul, the former sheriff, who are more than ready to give all of them the proper response they deserve for those cruel acts throughout the years. Bernard was just an illusion for us too? Or will our dear antagonist rise again stronger than before with one more plan for domination of everything? For where would he aim if he had a full control over the system and a cruel heart willing to create yet another great tragedy to make things follow the rules his own cruel world views had written in place long ago? Should his next plan mean nothing? Who would put a stop into such cruelty, or at the very least to bring his master plan down once and for all in his own life story? And are there choices for something bigger that everyone in that story should face sooner rather than later? The safeguard worked just as another powerful tool for us to finally face and digest everything that has been said in Silo, and the very best way as a reflection for our daily lives. It was not just another TV episode, but as usual with the series, as yet another lesson about not trusting everything at all, even when one seems at the greatest level, or if what is deemed as right might need to be questioned and doubted with the strongest. A conviction. The decisions you take and where you choose to put your trust might reflect that you should stay true to yourself or to a twisted power. depending on which route your individual and free will might take you and where it may want to. Be rooted at for the long run. That power, as always, makes us think about it. Who do you choose in times of dire situations when nothing makes sense to start with? A perfect dilemma, a complex question, just the best choice. The series proves how much impact every simple decision can have on others. Small act can trigger new stories to be made in places of chaos, creating empathy when most of the world just show us indifference. What has moved those beings? Was not a place in power, but it was about love, a connection of soul, friendship, or all mixed, always with the best form and approach, because if not, their actions will become in vain as they would turn into cruel and mindless choices. Everything has power because at our truest nature, we crave for life to keep living and fighting. Just remember all the characters since the beginning. Good or evil in power, or the ones with broken spirits that everyone wanted to forget. Their purpose as protagonists have more to show than they could ever comprehend. Each connection and small kindness matters more than what any authority, be a good or bad figure of Silo, may tell to the others that choose the easiest ways. Our true and most human side will make that difference for our better path on any kind of moment. The safeguard gave to everyone the possibility to question everything. In that new light of freedom, all those decisions can work on how a community, small or big, may survive with kindness and courage. Not as machines and tools, but for free will thinking human beings with unique power inside. They chose, or had forced into, being more than just tools that those with cruel hearts can use as they please. Those that do more have the power, not the tyrants who chose to be heartless rulers. They had all the tools at the tip of their hands. Every chance they could have had from those power positions, and what can a few more calm moves lead everyone in the end? Who is truly watching now? It may depend only on every small but relevant acts those amazing beings can or decide to show with what truly lives in all of their beautiful cores. Silo with a huge punch to our stomachs shows, again, that we should never stop the big question. What could we be in our unique core if we ever felt safe enough to act the way it suits? Best our human soul. And that, yes again, that every single and small act will not be vain, so take action. With every simple kindness, you start planting a seed for new lives to grow. As an old phrase says, you just need to believe. They believed and acted in this powerful penultimate chapter in that beautiful world to create new connections, as their characters teach us so wonderfully. It's something real for all of those whose hearts beat with a huge compassion to move forward. And that's it, folks. Let me know all of your big aha moments. Share your thoughts below. What surprised you the most in The Safeguard? What choices of yours are changing who you have become these days, and which were some actions that you admire the most? Leave a comment with your opinion. Did this analysis give any extra strength for that decision? How can I make your experience better? I would love to hear that. If it did, please support the rebellion, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights on everything Silo, or if you may prefer, about our current reality. Spread this knowledge as far as you can. Make some noise in the universe, and if there are more topics or curiosities you wish to debate, please leave all that in our comments box. Nothing is pointless or worthless or should be forgotten. Let's explore everything together and create great moments, because nothing happens by accident. We're all in this journey as one. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time.